We had a long night, and I stayed with many of the builders from the hackathon. And I've seen that quite some projects used AI in their products. But I think we can do more than that, because picture this. So I'm a developer myself, a builder. So late nights, lots of coffee and energizers. I'm a developer here, hunched over, and I'm trying to find a bug going through thousands of lines of code. This is us, the builders that we were here last night. And this is also because of today's enemy, and this is the traditional, intensive, full of errors development process of software. I think every builder and developer in this room understands the pain, because we have to debug, long hours debugging, we have to go through code reviews, we have to think about scalability issues. We think that we have our code base ready, we prepare it for review, but the first comment of the first reviewer will be, hey, you forgot about the tests. Yeah, so, you know what? Actually, the world is changing very fast. Every time I open my Twitter account, I see that there's a new update on AI that I did not see the day before. I found out about new things. Johnny Christmas here. Good job. I like your project very much. And I'm asking myself, in the blockchain, can we keep up the pace with what's happening in the AI? Because it's obvious that the current methods we are using are lagging. That's why I'm thinking, what if we have an ally, an assistant? What if we could change and improve the way we are developing? Well, we have to enter the artificial intelligence in the software development, because AI, in fact, is here to support us, not to take from the developers, but to assist developers. And I think this is the piece that we've been all missing. Now, maybe not all of you, but some of you may think, how does AI fit into the blockchain development? Can it really help me in my project? Now, because I think it would be better to think about the benefits and not the features of the AI, I would say that, 1, we can cut debugging time in half. 2, we may generate automated reviews. 3, automated tests. So we can find bugs in almost real time. 4, how many of you like writing documentation? How many? For the ones back home, only one hand up. Yeah, so not much. How many of you had to explain their code to their users? And I know this is part of my fault. How many of you asked questions on Telegram or Discord, and they had to wait for hours or days for an answer from the team? Yeah, 2 hands. 3, sorry for that. Well, I think that AI can help us with that. And because this is not the future, and it's actually happening now as we speak, I will want to go through a short history. So we have Doughbot. Doughbot is actually the documentation bot. It's a bot that we launched 6 months ago on one of our Discord channels. By the way, we have a Discord MultiversX builders. Please join. We have quite a number of interesting discussions there. And the sole purpose of this Doughbot, how we call it, is of helping others with their questions. Now, since then, we are continuously fine-tuning it with feedback and questions and answers from you, its users, and from us, the ones writing the documentation. On short-term plan, we want to bring also the entire content of Stack Overflow, and by that, I'm inviting you to use more and more Stack Overflow for asking your questions. We are going to continuously offer support on that channel as well. And then we announced the Cobot from CodingBot, of course. But this transformed in xAI tools in the end. Now, xAI acts as a foundational layer for everything AI, or large language models, in the ecosystem. Starting November, we are going to launch a new Visual Studio Code plugin, or how we called it, MultiversX IDE, that will offer support for smart contract unit testing generation, smart contract integration testing generation, explanation for the smart contract unit tests, explanation of the integration tests. You will be able to create README files for your contracts and add them to the GitHub repositories. And the xAI will also support you into generating smart contract documentation. Next week, we will also add a new feature on the utils.multiversx.com. It's going to be a smart contract explainer. Actually, you will have to just paste the GitHub repository path, and it will automatically generate the explanation for your smart contract. And by the time when we are going to have more and more verified contracts, you will be able to just copy-paste the address of the smart contract. And because this is not just by showcasing it, we already implemented it. So you will be able, first you will have to authenticate with your wallet, and then you'll be able to generate unit tests. You will be able to generate integration tests. You will be able to regenerate them if you want to change parts of your tests. You'll be able to ask for a review on the entire code set or only part of the code. You will be able to interact with the Dobot that I told you about. You will be able to ask for generating README files. You will be able to save, manage, or regenerate the README files and documentation if you want. You will actually be able to do most of your actions directly from this IDE. Now, what we have in work and is going to be launched later this year or early next year, it's the system testing features. And by system testing features, I mean that you can also be able to generate scenarios with smart agents, and you can configure the behavior of the smart agents. Yeah, so the part of the unit test is going to have three frames, one of the explanation for the test, one for the code which is generated, and then the results of the code that was generated, because in the end it's not just generating the code, but it is also compiling and running the code. So what to expect? Test support for system testing, scenarios builder, and soon it will be able to also review parts of your code, and you will be able to interact with the AI. Everything is going to be launched next month.